Today, we are going to take a look at a starter home with materials that are easy to get in the beginning of the game, but this starter home has an awful lot packed into it, and it is super simple. It's not the most compact, but I really like it. I think that it'll be a great starter home for a lot of people, and it has a lot built in, including a chicken farm, a cow farm, a wheat farm, or really any type of crops. You got enchanting, you have potion making, and of course you have storage and a place to sleep. Before the tour, I do want to show you, this is the materials for this build. This is absolutely everything that I have inside the build. There is a few things that are not required. So, like, you don't need to immediately start off with an enchanting table or a grindstone or even brewing stand, or say the soul sand that you need to get from the nether. All of that is pretty optional. In fact, there's a lot that you can do. Make this home your own. Also, I have the farmland in here, but really that is just dirt. I'm sure that you're going to collect. In fact, for one of the steps, you're definitely going to collect enough dirt to have with you. But as you can see from the materials, this is all really cobblestone, wood, so planks and logs. And then just a small amount of glass that would be difficult to get early on. And then also these stone bricks here, they don't need to be stone bricks. If you want to use cobblestone for these stone bricks as well, you could do that. So, and same thing with the carpet. Carpet, not super needed. I just kind of wanted to add some change. Getting wool early on may be difficult for you, so you can obviously skip the carpet if you're starting off your build. So let's do a little bit of a tour. First off, under here, we have our chicken sanctuary. These guys are under here so that they don't run away, and we can kind of stack the whole house right on top of each other. So we have all of the chickens. And then someone drop another egg. There we go. We have all of the chickens down here, and then, of course, you could continue to spawn them by tossing eggs or breeding them up with seeds. Then we jump out, and we have the cow layer. These cows are probably, one of the best food sources before you get golden carrots in the game. So I wanted to add chickens and cows to this build so that you would be able to have a really good food source early on in the game. And so, you got your chickens and your cows. Now, in order to get more chickens and cows, you need a farm, and specifically a wheat farm. The wheat will breed up the cows. The seeds from the wheat farm will breed up the chickens. So the first layer here is actually a wheat farm. And this farm has a few really cool features. Number one is that it can self-harvest. So I come over here, open this. The water will harvest everything and push it into that corner. Now, there's no hopper or anything like that. I wanted to make this very easy for you. But as you can see, I was able to harvest all of that. And then we can just drop down all of the seeds again, use the extra seeds to feed our chickens to breed them up, and then use the wheat to breed up our cows. Now, you'll notice that there is no way to get to the next floors. There's no extra stairs over here. It kind of has a secret way to get up into the actual base, which I thought was kind of cool. It has a secret entrance into the next area of the base. And you can see there's no stairs or no ladders up in here. And over here, you have a trapdoor with some water above it. And at first, it kind of looks like this trapdoor, which pushed all the seeds over there. This one, when you open it, you can actually float up into the next room of the build, which I think is really, really cool. This room is all about storage and smelting. So you have lots of chests, you have some crafting tables for you to use, and you have, of course, all of your furnaces so that you can smelt up all your stuff. So this is kind of like tools and whatnot. The next level up here, this is for enchanting, de-enchanting, adding books to armor, all of that sort of stuff. And then we also have a little brew area with some nether wart, so you can grow that up. And then, a chest for all of your brewing supplies. And then this chest would be for your enchanting equipment as well. And then finally, we head up to the very top, and we got a bit more storage. I added a cool little armor stand here, a ton of extra storage, even more smelting, and a bed up here. And so you may be thinking, well, why is that way, way at the top? And you'll notice the sound is different up here than any other level, and that is because we have finally moved far enough away from the cows and the chickens so that they're not constantly making sounds in our background. And so I thought you may want a respite from all of the noise, and so this is where you can sleep, you can continue to get some work done, you got your smelting stuff, you got a whole bunch of equipment, that you could store up here. And so that is kind of what this room is for, is, okay, I'm tired of hearing chickens and cows cluck at me, so I want to move far enough away from them, and that is in the top level. And then this would be more like, immediate storage, because it's so close to the entrance, you'd be able to easily get to it. And maybe long-term storage as well. And that is basically it for the tour. The only extra thing is that way back here we have a lightning rod, so that the lightning will not strike our build and catch it on fire. So you may want to incorporate that so that you don't have any fires with your build. So we added that as well. So how do we make it? Let's get started. First step is to find an empty space of land, and this looks like it will work just great. The dimensions are 9 by 9. That is the space. I guess technically the stairway comes out a little bit more, but from these pillars right here, this is 9 blocks across. So I'm actually going to start off by counting diagonally. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9 will be the last one. And then from that middle block right there, I can go 1, 2, 3, and then put down an extra log, 1, 2, 3, and then an extra log, just like that. And that should give you the footprint that you need for the base. Now, what I did was I went down here and I went in 1 block, and then this is going to be where I build out the chicken coop. And I'm just going to go to each one of these holes and dig down twice. And that will end up being a 5 by 5. So now I can jump into one of these holes and dig over 1, 2, 3, and I should be at the other hole that I made. 1, 2, 3, and there we are. And then I can do that over here as well. And I'm just going to clear out this area so that it is a 5 by 5 empty area underneath. If you want to expand this, you could. No big deal. Now we need to determine which way is going to be the front of our build, and I'm going to have the front be, facing this direction. So under here, inside of the chicken area, I'm going to dig out 1, 2, 3 blocks in the direction of the front, and then 1 block over, and then I'm going to destroy the top block, and this is where we can put 2 ladders down so that we can get in and out of the chicken area. Also, we want to make sure that things don't spawn down here, so I'm just going to add 4 torches, 1 on each corner. Now we can add back the dirt that I removed, just so, I just removed that only so I could count that out, so we can just add all of that back. Now, right here at the front, right in the middle, I'm going to put down a plank with 1 on top and 1 towards the front, and this is eventually where we're going to put some stairs. But instead, we are going to work on our fences. So I have an entrance over here on the right-hand side. So I just need an oak fence, oak fence, oak fence gate. And then I filled in the rest of the area with oak fences. So, those are fence gates. Oh my gosh. There we go. Oak fences like this. And I'm just going to connect up all of the logs. There we go. So now we have an area for our cows. If you wanted to get started early, you could get your cows inside of here. Cows will be led by wheat, and then you can get your chickens down in here. You may need to remove the ladder so that they'll fall down in there, and then you add them back after they're in there, and they can be led with seeds. Now I'm going to start by adding some cobblestone stairs, 1, 2, and 3, and then this is going to be the start of the next part of the build. And the way that I do it is I had a plank outline. So I just did that outline just like that. And now we're going to switch to dirt and just make it farmland. Now I just happen to have already, farmland with me because I'm in, creative mode. But you put down dirt, and then you can leave this corner open. So that corner doesn't need anything. And as you can see, my farmland is turning back into dirt because it is not waterlogged, or it doesn't have any water. So in this corner that we left open, we're going to put down a slab, and that slab is going to be on the bottom of the full block. Then we're going to take a water bucket and fill that slab with water. That will keep your farmland hydrated, and it will also make sure that when water flows over here, it'll aim for this corner, and everything is going to be good. And that'll also catch the water flow from above, so you won't have any issues. So now I'm just going to switch this out. You could obviously do this with a hoe if you were in Survival Minecraft. Now I'm going to go along and add logs over here. This is going to be only a 2-high room, but I'll add that third log there because that will be the roof of the next thing. You know, that'll be the roof of this room and the floor of the other room. So there we go. We can kind of just build that up. Now in this room, I'm going to start by building up the wall, and I'm going to leave this space open for the door. There we go. The wall is down. Now we can do the next layer of the wall. Now I left an open space for a window right there. So actually just one in like so. And there's your windows, and that you can fill in, obviously, with glass panes, like so. Next, you can start with the outline of what will be the roof, and then that will be the floor of the next level, and you can go all the way over where your door will be, and we can go ahead and slap that door in. I like to stand on the inside and then put it in like that. That creates a completely solid side on this, and then on this side it gives that door just a little bit of depth. So that's how I like to do it. Now let's add the floor for the next room and the ceiling to the room that we're in now, except each corner can be left open. So we can fill all of this in except for those 2 corners. There we go. The roof is in except for those 2. And now I'm going to add a trapdoor right here. And I like it to open that direction. You could also, have it over here, but that will open up that direction. To me, I feel like I'd be more in this side of the room to open it, and then it's easier to click on it to close it. Over here, you can do the same thing, except that I kind of like to throw it, it'd be a little bit difficult, and I like it to open towards the front of the house because we're going to add a water stream there, and I want to immediately be able to jump up that water stream. If you add it over here, that trapdoor will be in the way, and so you aren't able to go up it as quite as easily. So once you've added both of those trapdoors, go ahead and open them, hold down shift, click on the trapdoor, and that will waterlog the trapdoor. Now when it's closed, it'll keep the water from flowing, and then when it is open, the water will flow freely. And because this is a waterlogged slab, the water will not spread out into the room if you open this door, but it will because there is no waterlogged thing underneath it, or no water source block, or no, open block, but it will over on this side. And this is going to be our ladder. Whoops, I accidentally placed some water there. This is going to be our ladder into the next level of the build. Now, on this level, I added a little bit of a detail. So I'm going to add all of those logs, and then I'm just going to add some logs just going directly across, like so. Now that that is done, we can start adding the walls. And remember, this is the storage room, except I did something a little bit weird and funky on this floor. Just near the front of the house, that actually has one less block because I liked the look of this being inset right here. So this level, every other level, and including the sides of this, it's actually going to now expand by a block. You can kind of see that is we were working with a 5x5. The walls are 7x7. The interior space is 5x5, and then we actually expanded on the sides, except for on the front, because I didn't really like how that looked at first, and so just this one floor the wall is a little bit thicker on the front side, but the edges are completely just like the normal like an extrusion of what is below. So you'll notice that it looks like kind of two-toned on all the walls except for the one that faces to the front. And this is a 3-high room. So I'm going to just add my extra logs here, and then I'm going to continue to fill in the walls like so. Also, while you're here, you'll probably want to kind of break this out right here. And I added a detail of some stairs facing upwards like so. So you may want to add that detail right now. And you can crouch down, which is kind of nice. This one's a little bit weird. I may have to put this right there and then just fall down and then move my way up. And then on this side, put that down like that. There we go. Okay, so this room is basically all that you need to add inside of here is I added carpet on the floor. You don't have to, like I said before, but this is where we're putting in our furnaces and our chests. And I'm also going to show you how I lit this room. So first off, to kind of anchor the room, this is where the ladder is going to be going up. Also, it's a 3-tall room, but the third block here is actually going to be half slabs that are on the top of the block, just like so. So you can kind of imagine that. In fact, I guess I'll just go ahead and fill this in right now. Now that that is filled in, I can start. I'm just going to add my carpet here. How I did it was I created a white border, and that was able to cover up that water source over there. And then this water source will want to keep completely uncovered because you can't go through the carpet very easily. And then we can add in our chests, and I just did 2. And what's nice is that that can open because that is just a half slab over there. And so I did a total of 8 double chests in this room. Then I added some crafting tables here and here. My furnaces went right here. And then to add some light to the room, I stuck it in the corner on the floor like that. And that adds enough light for this room. And that's it. Now we can move on to the next room. And this is where we fully expand to the full depth of the house. So what we can do is we can add in our oak logs. And this room is going to be 4 blocks tall, and then the 5th block is going to be the floor of the next room. So 4 blocks is what we're working with. And how I did it, and you can obviously do it differently, is every wall sort of had this. So there was basically an outline of planks along the entire length of the wall. Right in the middle, there is an extra little like windowsill basically, and then 2 big old windows. And that added a ton of light into this room. I ended up really, really liking that. And it's very simple to do. Just find the center and add it like that. And then, of course, you can add in your glass panes if you would like. And I find just clicking on the edge of each of those is probably the easiest because they're nice and big to click on. And so it's very easy to add the panes. One more thing, maybe before you add the panes on the front of the house, is I did add some trapdoor detailing. So I can grab these oak trapdoors and I put them right here kind of as shutters, just like so, there and there. And we can open both of those, and then I'll have to do the same over here like that. And then you can open them up, and that is how they'll end up looking. Add back in our window panes that I had to destroy. So there you go. That is that little detail. Now we can continue with our ladder all the way up to the top. And now it is time to get to some of the decorating. We'll need 15 bookshelves, enchanting tables, anvils, and of course you don't need this many anvils if you don't want that many. I just liked them because they could stack, and if one breaks, then they'll just fall down. So let's start off with the bookshelves. How is this going to work? Well, I didn't really want to block up the window there, so I made sure that my bookshelves would kind of go up and we would still have all the light from that window. So first off, that's how I start off, with doing 2 high in the corner and then on each of the windowsills. And then over here, we're going to come out 1, 2, 3. And then over here, we're just going to come out 2. And that should be your 15 bookshelves. That will leave a nice space over here for a grindstone, and then I put all 3 of my anvils in that corner. Then over here, I added an extra crafting table in the corner. You know, you may need to craft something, who knows. And then a brewing stand sitting on top of that. Over to the side, I put my soul sand, and if you have nether wart, you can plant it there, and then a chest to keep all of your things in there, and then another chest to keep all of your enchanting goodies. In this room for light, I just added a torch to each windowsill right there, just 3 of them, and that keeps this room nice and lit. Now, moving on to the final room up here, and we can kind of start off by building just the floor out. But one thing I want to point out is there is a little bit of detail on the front to kind of break up these textures here. And you'll see it's just this log right here. So how I have this going is I just brought the logs up 1 extra and then built this across for that look like that. And I'm just going to go ahead and build out the floor of this room. Now that the floor is finished, it is roof time. The walls of this room is really just going to be built out of the roof of the house. This is basically like an attic, if you want to think of it that way. The way to do that is to shift off of the edge and click on the bottom of that block, and then that will get the stair to be correct. And I like to come out 1 extra, and then also I want to put a stair, an upper stair. So on the top of the block, I'm going to click, and that'll make sure that this has a upper stair, and then all of these are lower stairs. Now, because I'm in creative mode, I'm just going to do it kind of quickly. So we'll add an extra, and then a stair that is upside down right there, like that, and then all the way across. Once you've got that first overhang, next, we're just going to add some stairs all the way across, and we're going to keep going up. And so now that I kind of have that first one down, I kind of know that, okay, this is going to be an entire wall right here. And then, actually, no, that's not right there, but it's going to be like so. And then sometimes, you just keep going, and I can kind of tell, okay, well, this is how this is going to look like that. One thing is that getting that extra upside down stair on here can be, it's a lot easier if you go layer by layer. So, right before you go on to the next layer, try to add your upper stairs like so, and then that'll make things much easier for you. And it can get a bit tedious at this point, because you're walking on stairs and you don't have anything else to click on except for the side of the other stair. There we go. And now we're going to start the next one. Whoops, get out of here. And I put that one there and keep moving across. Now you will notice when you get near the end that your stair will end in a single block. And you'll just have this 1 block. And that doesn't make any sense. How is this going to be the top of my build? Oh, I missed a block right there. How is this going to be the top of my build? Well, we're going to use slabs instead on the very top. And how this will work is we're going to put down 1 slab. And then before we put down this slab right here, go ahead and put down a half slab on the top of that block, and then another one right there. And that'll make it look like a full block from far away. And it adds a nice little peak to the top of your build right there, and then continue slabbing all the way across, and do that on the other side as well, where before you put down that one right there, put this here and there you go. And it looks like I missed a few here as well. How did I do that? Oh my gosh. Bam, bam. There we go. And now the roof is finished. Go back up through our build so far. Oh my gosh, it's looking so good. Okay, so here we are up in the top, and I'm going to add 1 more right there. And up here, what I did in order to make this seem a little bit more like fully built out, like more of a room instead of just an attic, is I added some of the stone bricks back here to kind of fill in these corners. And I know there's not a lot of light. We're going to do that next. And then I also added in some bricks right there as well. Okay, it's pretty dark in here, so let's add some torches. I did 1 there, 1 there. And then over on this side, we have our bed. And I went ahead and stuck that just like that. And then I put a crafting table on one side, a chest on the other, and then I attached a torch to the top of the crafting table. And almost as a way of making like some art, I stuck down a white banner. Now, it's not, you could add, actual art, but I don't know why. I kind of liked the movement of the white banner and whatnot, and so that ended up looking really, really nice. Next is our armor stand, and that just, it can really be anything at this point. Now this is your room, so you can build whatever you want. Put down some chests. The good thing about these is that they're stairs, so if you need to, you can open the chest. It's not a solid block above that chest, so you can add as much or as little extra little bits as you want. Finally, I like to add a lightning rod to make sure that our place isn't going to accidentally catch on fire when we are not around. So just add a lightning rod nearby. The distance that the lightning rod will stop lightning on Bedrock Edition is 64 blocks, and on the Java Edition is like 128 blocks. And this is definitely, as long as you put it pretty close by, 64 blocks is going to cover everything. If you're like me and you're in a plains biome, I like to make sure to break the grass that is around, because the lightning will still catch that grass on fire. And I don't want some really weird situation to happen where the lightning struck and then it immediately stopped raining, and then the fire hopped from thing to thing to thing to get over to my house. So I just do a little bit of lawn mowing, basically, and get rid of all of the grass around so that your lightning doesn't accidentally travel over to your house. There are a few things I forgot just to make our item counts all match up. Is down here, I added 2 torches to each pillar. Forgot to mention that. And then inside of the farm area, I put 2 torches on either side to make sure that there is light in this room when it is, not daytime and whatnot. So there you go. That is your starter house. I think it looks really, really nice. Obviously, your next step would be to get your cows and your chickens inside of there, and then add whatever else you want. Add anything else to this starter house. Hope you found this super useful. If you did, please give this video a like. Make sure you subscribe for future videos, tips, tricks, tutorials, and spotlights here on OMG Craft. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.